And guess what? We're right here. And guess what? We're right here. And guess what? We're right here. And guess what? We're right here.
But there's a lot.
The culture is lost for African Americans.
But
they don't know.
We
the
shouldn't be
culture
attacked.
started here 400 years ago. It came from Africa. So now you got Senegalese culture mixed in. You got Morocco culture mixed in with African American culture. Even just in Louisiana, gumbo, okra, all that came from West Africa.
The fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
People say where you from?
America.
No, where's your country?
My country is America. I was born in New York, raised in...
Where your parents from?
My parents are from New York.
Americans, they don't know where they're from, you know.
I think American black people are the most lost black people in the world.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you see black people over here.
They know where they come
we
from.
all know where we come from.
What are some negative stereotypes y'all heard about black America from your parents, from your friends?
You literally said it all.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, my mom would tell me not to marry that.
Yeah.
Right.
She says it all the time.
My parents are both from Grenada. They came here in the 80s and 90s. So what he was saying about how they think that black people are lazy does resonate with me because I've heard that a lot.
And I'm West African, Nigerian, because if you remember the movie Sugar Hill, and there's a scene where they're doing the thing with the drug dealer, and the guy said, we can't work with akata. That's a word that they were calling the American blacks, akata, the Nigerians. Akata is a word that they use for American blacks. And Wesley Snipes was like, yo, what is this akata shit you keep calling us? And the guy goes, we don't want to work with cotton pickers. Africans come to America, and there's a lot of my African-American friends say, man, a lot of Africans are really mean towards us. They're really nasty towards us because they feel they're better towards us.
You being a man from an African family, what would your family say about you bringing like an American woman?
My daughter's mom is American. Most African parents, if we're being honest, they would actually prefer you bring home a white person.
I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, but a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family, where they will sit you down and tell you, you're going there. Don't go and talk to those black Americans. You just go and get pregnant. You get into drugs. You start become gang banging. They give you that talk. That just go to the white community, find a nice place. They just go and be decent. Stay with the white people. They give you that talk. So when you enter America, you already have a perception of African Americans. You've judged them.
Well, we don't want them here.
They're your brothers and sisters.
They're not our brothers.
They are.
They were taken away, unfortunately.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
I am not a slave, I was born to slide, I am not afraid. Hop about the K, oh yeah, free to God, they went out of state. I'm a child of God, I do not belong to the United States. For Black History, tell Uncle Sam he can catch a fade. I went to school, graduated at the top of my class. Still never thought I was over my peers. We did that time together 12 years. Ain't that some movie? I think that it is. They won't control me, I'm really a member. I traveled that road, I came back with the jewels for 'em. When I pull up, they pee how the roof going. We some dog killers, won't chew bones. No, we all spit 'em, we supreme. Somewhere I read a nigga had a dream.
You don't have to try to be something you're not. God, I can't stand this. Trying to be something I'm not? Trying to be proud of my African heritage? If that's being something I'm not, then fine. My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois. My grandfather was a black from a long line of journeymen who lived in Connecticut since the establishment of the colonies. My father was a Bajan who came to this country a cabin boy in a merchant marina. I know all of that, Mama. Then know this. I am alive because of the blood of a people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world: to be allowed to be.
I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all. Who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary find a name that would make you proud.
I was born black, I live black, and I'm gonna die probably because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head.
My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American. Making music would've thought I had help, but the Indians I know wanna be the chief they self.
Round with that fake history you are giving. Stop it. You call yourself Native Americans, yet you don't even know your tribe. Where is your tribe? What is the name of your tribe? What language do you speak, your so-called Native Americans? What language do you guys speak? Because every single tribe or every single country in this world have their own language. So if you are indigenous, just as Red Indians, or sorry to say Native Americans, they have their own language. They have their own tribes. So Madam so-called African, wanna be Native American, what is the name of your tribe? What is the name of your people? You coming up with some fake identity that is going to cause some crisis to our African identity. So please stop it. Stop with the fake history you are creating. Please. It's serious, guys. You are really doing something that is wrong and is illegal.
The fuck are you talking about?
Deny Africa all you want. You are Africans. That is how you got to America. You can claim America because that's all you know, but the blood flows through your veins. That blood that flows through your veins. That blood that makes you sing good. That blood that makes you dance good. That blood that gives you that rhythm. That blood that gives you boldness and bravery. That blood that gave you beauty, intelligence. That blood is from Africa.
We have that a lot of Black Americans don't have is a sense of knowing where you come from.
Yeah, as an African, but more specifically, as an Igbo man. We gotta kill that disrespectful narrative. Without even getting to the cultural impact of African Americans around the world, a lot of the perceived differences that we talk about so often aren't unique to us. They're just a first generation versus American thing. Back to Africans specifically, so many of our parents came to the US because they got admitted to HBCUs. So, come on. Now on the specific point of knowing where we come from, I think more of us need to remember that life didn't start in our village. When humanity began, your tribe probably didn't exist. So there is a really good chance that you don't know exactly where you come from. Especially when you consider that many of our ancestors probably joined our respective tribes because of conquest. Then if you go toe-to-toe with a lot of Black Americans on Lineage, you're probably not making it past your great-grandfather. They're going hundreds and hundreds of years. I say all that to say there's nothing wrong with knowing where you come from in the US. Like if folks say they come from Texas or Georgia, they come from Texas or Georgia, and that's cool. There's a good chance you come from a town in Africa that had its name changed by colonizers.
As an African living in the United States, I used to share the same sentiment that Africans share about African Americans because I had a hard time when I first moved here. People used to always tell me, you're not Black enough, you're an Oreo, you're secretly white on the inside, as if I wasn't literally from Africa. But I now understand after living here for 8 years that Black in the United States is a very specific criteria and anything outside of that just doesn't fit. But I want to help African Americans understand that Africans coming to the United States are immigrants, first and foremost. Then they are Nigerian or Senegalese or whatever country they're from. And then at some point, they are Black. But Africans don't put Black high up on their identity well, as much as African Americans do. And that is for legitimate reasons on both ends. And so when an African is coming to the United States, they're thinking to themselves, okay, I'm an immigrant here. I have to do my best for myself and my family back home. The sacrifices that took for me to get here were no light work, okay? So I need to really like align myself with what's going to make me successful in this country. And because it's the United States, it's the dominant culture, which is white American culture. And so Africans are going to instinctively ally themselves with the culture that's going to give them the most success. I mean, African Americans even admit that they have to code switch to be successful here because that's what brings success. And so Africans are like, all right, we'll do that. And it also doesn't help that for a long time, Africans are fed a very negative view of Black American culture, and that's its own propaganda. But because Africans are so conservative and they're coming to a country where Black Americans have been labeled as the antithesis to this conservative traditional family values, they have, if anything, more in common with like Southern Baptist white racist people. But that aside, going back to identity markers, Black Americans put Black first and foremost, and then everything else goes below it. And so they're thinking when another Black people come to our country, they're going to want to integrate with us, the other Black people, because duh, Black comes first. And they get quickly disappointed in realizing that for Africans, Black and the identity and that coming is not first. Their immigrant identity comes first, and then their country. And if anything, for us as Africans to feel like that's my brother, that's my brethren, or whatever, you have to come from the same tribe as us, because we have so many Black people around, we don't automatically pre-select for Black. But Black Americans don't have so many Black people around, have had to defend and protect their culture amidst a dominant white culture, and so they are already pre-select and are overprotective for Black. And so that's why I think at the core of it, there's like a deep misunderstanding because of not realizing that we put where we put our identity markers and what we put first and what we prioritize are so different culturally because of our differences in trauma, realistically. And so it does make sense that Black Americans will be like, oh, my people, my brethrens, come here. And African Americans, or Africans, coming to the United States are like, I'm just trying to make it here. Like, it's a lot of work to immigrate to the United States. And so y'all can stay over there, and I can see why it's hurtful, and I can see why it's taken personally, and I can see the deep misunderstanding and the betrayal that African Americans feel. But it's unfortunate, and that's just a reality. But if we can talk about it from this perspective, I think we can get to a better understanding. But I also believe that Africans that spend enough time in the United States get to this compassion and understanding of the Black American community, because it is a very unique and specific set of circumstances for a culture to grow and to develop.
What do you say when people say where you from?
America.
No, where's your country?
My country is America. I was born in New York, raised in New York.
Where are your parents from?
My parents are from New York.
Americans, they don't know where they're from,
No, Americans don't know where they're from.
It's a mystery.
How is it a mystery?
Because you must be Caribbean or African or...
What do you mean,
something.
Caribbean? Isn't Caribbean a part of America as well?
There's some in there.
Jamaica?
It's not really America, but it's near. It's near, but it's not.
What continent is the Caribbean in? Jamaica? What continent is that?
Why are you running?
LOL!
Huh? You're trying to draw me out.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. Where you from? You from Congo?
And Jamaica.
And Jamaica. What continent is Jamaica in?
If you don't answer that, I'm leaving you.
I just want to know what continent Jamaica's in.
I didn't pass geography.
Oh my gosh!
My dearest African American brothers, my dearest fellow Black people all over the world, Australia, Canada, Dominican Republic, wherever you may be, and the United States of America, please, when you're making reference to Africa, please decolonize your thoughts. Please overhaul your American and your white man's education, because even with the internet and even with how much Africans have put information out there, some of you are still deciding to sit in your ignorance.
you your history and telling you what your history is and what it's not, this and that. But it's refreshing to at least having a framework of what, your possible history is, especially like I say, growing up in being born in Worth County, that was used to be an Indian village. Indian post, and then learning that they for some reason in the 1800s, people were removed. So I wouldn't know until I dig in deeper what I'm, what side of them I'm on, through your consultation, where you kind of put some perspective to it. If it, like you said, if it was only 4% of Africans that was brought here to this land.
Life and giving me the direction I always needed, because growing up, I did not know about my family, nor did I know how to find out about my family. So the fact that I tried other avenues and I felt like I was getting scammed, going through his consultation, I really felt like someone was actually trying to help me out and throwing a lot of fat on my head, bro. A lot of the things that he dropped, a lot of the gems that he's going to show you, wholeheartedly, man, hang on tight, because that shit blew my mind.
I would advise that if you have never gone to the African continent, if you have never done a research to find out the truth about the place you call motherland, please do not come to this social media. Please do not come to this internet. Please do not go on any podcast and open your mouth and talk what you do not know. You're saying that we live in trees. Some of you mimic our accent. Me, I like my accent too. I can mimic the American accent. I can mimic the British accent. But in my moment of you will see my Africanness come out. And I'm not ashamed of it. I own it with my full chest. You understand me? Yes. Now, please. Stop. It should, seriously, at this point, it's no longer ignorance. It's not ignorance of, I'm ignorant. This is willful ignorance. You have Google, you have TikTok, you have Facebook to educate you. If you cannot travel to Africa, you have all of these platforms to educate you on the things that you should and shouldn't say. I don't know what his name is, Anthony or whatever, Anthony. Please, okay? If you do not know, please keep quiet. Carry your children. Take your children to Mississippi. Take your children to Alabama. Take your children to Los Angeles. Show them what, poverty looks like. There is afflictions in America. If those of you who do this thing, please stop it. Stop it.
Africans hate African Americans. The short response to this is, don't just take my word for it. Go to Africa and find out for yourself. But honestly, this rhetoric that continues to be pushed is not only downright disgusting, but it's continuing to push a divide amongst us. There are ignorant people in the African community. There are ignorant people in the African American community. Just like when I came here, I used to be made fun of for being African. I don't hold that against them, because in the most respectful manner, they did not know any better. They were children and they were just going up for whatever was fed to them. If you go to Africa, you literally get treated like royalty. I'm telling you, royalty, bro. Last year, I went to my village with my boy Monhan, and when I tell you, up to this, almost every kid in Africa wants to be like African Americans, bro. If you go to Gambia right now, bro, it can be 90 degrees. 90 degrees. There's kids walking around with puffers and fur coats and try to sag their pants because to them, that's what, I don't think you guys understand how powerful or how much Africans in Africa especially admire African Americans, bro. After you finish watching this video, I want you to go on YouTube and type in Americans and you will see.
Ice on my gang, yeah, cool. Boys near hard, yeah, cool. Step on set, one fire drop, somebody, yeah, joy, yeah, cool. And in the gang, Santa boys, we don't fear, we just do. Americans and in the near, one posuro, and in the near, canam.
We spend our whole life trying to emulate and trying to be like y'all. There's no
me with my mother being an American black woman and my father being a Jamaican man from Jamaica. I can say that my father's side of the family looked at black Americans a certain way, and they already had in their mind, whether they said it on social media or not. We could sit here and make it seem like it's an illusion, but all other groups of black people, which we're all black, we tend to look down on black Americans. If you go to, they're like, oh, we come out here and this, that, and And you guys are lazy. Y'all don't do shit. Oh, y'all just on welfare, when black people are not even the most on welfare. This whole mindset of black people being lazy when we built America.
It's just a way to push this stereotype to give other cultures the green light to be disrespectful towards black Americans and also not to question the system.
Would you say that there is an unspoken beef between blacks from other islands or actual Africa and African Americans? Is there like a...
I do. I personally feel like I could be wrong, so I don't want nobody to, where the camera at? I don't want nobody to get offended, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think Africans like black people. Like, if you're not from Africa, I don't think they like African Americans personally. And I've been in personal situations on why I feel like that.
I totally respect that. There's a culture amongst African Americans that we will not look at what's right in front of us and say, this makes sense. They'll rather subscribe to the original Hebrews, the original indigenous people of America. They'll subscribe to every other thing than calling Africa home. And I don't get it. It's disrespectful to me and it's very ignorant. So why would I respect you for not having knowledge of self? Even Malcolm X went back to Africa. I literally have talked to people that have told me they're not from Africa. We can claim America because we were brought here first and we worked and built it up. So this is as much ours as anyone else's. But at the end of the day, this is not our home. And you need to get in touch with what your home
about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
Tell people about Ancestry. That's how I found out. I'm from Cameroon, there's Nigerian. They say, oh, but that's the white people telling you that. That's not real. Then what is real?
I don't like when every time we may say something, they put a race in there about it. Like, why I couldn't learn this from another, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It bothers me sometimes when people do that.
And I just don't think conspiracy theories make sense when to even entertain when literally you're telling me that the voyage over didn't happen. I don't understand how this has happened to our culture where we have embraced such crazy ideas other than the truth. To have somebody that looks like me tell me that we're not from Africa, I understand that this is our home. But where you originated from, so you're not even going to do any history or any research on it. Then I tell you about Ancestry and you go, well, and they have one that's just for blacks. What's the reason why you're not going to look at it then? Because
they don't want to, man. They just want to believe what they want to believe, man. And if the truth is not what they want it to be, they not trying to hear it.
I can't wait to touch down on African soil. They say that it changes you. They say that you can feel the energy when you touch down.
Yeah, me and the homies were just talking about that.
I believe it, bro. Point example, Wakanda. It's not a real place. It's not a real place. I don't like that we call Atlanta Wakanda. I don't like when people actually think of Africa or African countries, they say Wakanda, Nick. Wakanda is fictional. It's from a comic book. How do we have that much pride in something that's fictional but not something that's real?
Ignorance, man.
Yo, if you're black and British, if you've been to America, there's certain things that black Americans say to you that is so dumb, cuz. You black and you British? How the fuck does that work, nigga? You black and British, man, that shit fire, yo. Man, yo, Tyrone! Hey, yo! That nigga black and British, nigga. You get them Americans, yeah, that act like they know England so well, cuz. Word? You from the UK? Oh, that shit dope, man. When I went to the UK, I saw the Eiffel Tower, cuz. When I went to the UK, I saw that shit tall as fuck, nigga. You get the ones there that are just so baffled. They can't even comprehend the fact that you're black and British, bro. Damn, them Harry Potter ass niggas, man. I can't believe that shit. If I touch you, can you feel that shit, nigga? Like, Can you feel that? You get some that just ask wild questions, bro. I heard that niggas don't even die in London, niggas. That true? Niggas don't die in London, do they? On the most part, man, you might not friendly as fuck. I can't lie, you might not actually friendly. You're more friendlier than black UK dons for facts.
Do y'all think that we as Africans are allowed to use the N-word?
Oh, I want to say, let's just say allow, but
Or should we? Should we?
But
Should we or should we
I'm gonna give it to
refrain?
you this way. I don't think Mexicans should be saying it.
Now
that I
we
grew
agree
up.
on that.
No, because growing up, you know, Hispanics was saying.
Yeah, they sure
nigga,
was.
You know, and we were just like, oh,
But
okay.
you-
They kind of go through the same.
So
the problem is because you don't
They're
have
not
a lot of
black.
you're not black. First, that's like they want our rhythm, but don't want our blues.
You are talking, sir.
I don't like that.
I like that.
Black Americans, we just get shitted on sometimes
Mhm.
after what we put up, you know. And we're very loving people.
Mhm.
We accept any and everybody, open arms.
Y'all do.
You know what I'm saying? Now we might scold.
That's gonna happen.
But it's like we
Go back.
I just feel like, you know, like the whole like, oh, we don't know where we come from. We've been in America for over 500 years. So like I say, I'm from Texas.
So our
Born and
Africans
raised.
are not allowed to say. I think
I don't-
we should not allowed, but do you think we should?
I think if maybe I don't, let me just say, oh, do you
Your
know the history
community.
behind it? That's all.
Yeah.
That's why I would
Yeah.
ask. You just using it
Do you know the
freely.
history? Okay, go ahead.
Can I fight back a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
They were
fight
calling
back.
us niggas in the continent. Like,
but where did nigga come from?
No, but like,
I
in America.
it's like, but then,
Okay, but we know Negro is black.
No,
and Latin, right?
NIGGER was used in the African continent. They
Yeah,
were
but it's
still
different
calling us
because
that.
was your grandparent on her birth certificate? Do it say nigger on there?
Thank you, sir. The thing is, I feel like when it comes to the
my
word,
great grandmother, it says nigger on there. Her mama, it says nigger on her race. It's a little different.
Yeah,
I don't know about
You
the
know,
African.
black Americans, we can trace our lineage back, and on the race it says nigger, it says Negro, or it says colored. Like, so that word is more sentiment to us, for as
But
like
do you think you're putting power in that word?
no, that we flipped it. Yeah,
That's the issue.
that's why y'all use it so freely from rap music. I feel like rap music.
I feel like it's become.
It's been whack to be African, and we saw that and experienced it when y'all called that.
So I'm African American, and I was dating this Nigerian guy, African American. I'm 27. He's also the same age. And this came up a lot in our discourse because he was kind of talking about that. Like, basically how he was just talking about how, like, African Americans didn't really embrace, like, African culture, traditional African culture, music, all of that type of stuff until more recently. And I was trying to let him know that, like, you have to understand, as an African American, first of all, our upbringings are a lot different. Because a lot of the African Americans who I would say are millennial and like the generation after that or whatever, a lot of those people, I mean, before that, the generation before millennial, so like baby boomers, all of that, you're forgetting that slavery was just abolished, like what, a little over 100 years ago? So a lot of my ancestors, my great grandmother, whatever, they didn't know nothing about their African culture. Like that's the big issue with slavery, is that we were ripped away from our culture. When it comes to just like overall education and everything, I feel like this is just a matter of we're moving into a new time. We're moving into a new generation of people. We're moving into a time of information where a lot of African Americans in the last 10 years, 15 years literally, have just gotten information and knowledge about Africa, the real Africa, the beautiful Africa, the motherland. So I don't think that it's necessarily like trendy now for African Americans to embrace their African part of their ancestry. I think it's just the fact that we're just now getting exposed to this information. And I really think we need to shift the focus on how we can fuse our cultures together and teach each other and bridge the gap, because there shouldn't be any separation and like isolation amongst African American culture and African culture, because that's what the want. Like, come on now. Also, I just want to touch on the fact that, like, first of all, it's just now became cool to be black for everybody, whether you're African American, blacks, mixed, black, whatever. Like, let's be real. If you go back to grade school, first of all, when I grew up in grade school, people were calling me Blackie, Midnight, Darky. This was going on in 2006, 2007. So, like, let's be for real here. I don't feel like my true blackness, my true beauty was truly, really, really accepted until I like went to college, if I'm being 100. Like, but as for the like picking on African, what I want y'all to understand that that's what was taught to us. We did not know anything better. So we did not know what to say better about African people. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like the ignorance is bliss thing. And we're just now coming into the education.
So we come over here, y'all assume we have the money because we come from the States, which to a certain degree, because the city is less, sure. But you have to think too, like, let's say me, myself, I have busted my tail to save money to even be able to come over here. So when you raise the price on me and I'm not some millionaire, you know what I mean? It's very disheartening because I save money to come here. I don't have a lot of money, you know what I mean? So in the States, I think there's a misconception that Black people have the money. As a majority, I mean, there are like, you know, individuals, but as a majority, we have the least money in the States.
Black British people from the UK, we have to start being fucking for real in 2024. This last week, and I'll say it again, the lack of education in the UK that Black British people have, or in the UK in general have, on general American things is astounding. They'll get online and they'll say with their whole chest, oh, you lot are dumb. You know, in America, yeah, Americans just don't know anything.
Our food is top quality because we have culture over here. No one wants to appropriate Black American shit, you understand? We yam good food like curry, goat and rice and them things there, and a goosey soup.
Black British food is not a thing. African food is a thing. Nigerian food is a thing. Jamaican food is a thing. Not Black British.
And an American person can't tell me a motherfucking thing about being Black British because we do your accents better than you. That's why they want our Black British men in Hollywood.
Go online and say that America wants your Black British men because they do American accents better than Americans. Do you know how daft that sounds? They're doing an accent and they're cosplaying what? An American. That's the only way they can find jobs. I did my best to try to explain it to you guys in the most simplistic and elementary terms. You just don't. In the UK are trying to ascribe their idea. Think Black, that when we use the word Black, we're talking just about Black, but we're from various places. No, we're Black and we're from America, meaning our language, our food, our culture, everything that we developed is Black American. The UK doesn't have that, babe. Discovered, and what I think is happening, I think Black British people are having an identity crisis because there's no overarching Black identity in the UK. Like I said before, you are from your Caribbean nations or you are from your African nations. She goes on to say that Black British is her ethnicity and it's her race. No, it's not.
When I go abroad, I'm British. When I'm in the UK, I'm Black British. My ethnicity and my culture determine that I'm Black British.
This kind of activity is done for the
Esto se hace con las vacas que han perdido a su ternero. Si la cría se muere, la madre no produce leche porque si la vaca no amamanta a un ternero.
You guys don't, you know, understand that term, but that's what it is.
Being Black British is your racial marker in the UK. You do not have an ethnicity of being Black British because you guys are all from your countries. Secondly, this video is just indicative of the middle child syndrome they all have. I think that they believe that Americans believe we're the cream of the crop of blackness, when we don't. We're just black, and we're from a country that has been the center of the world in terms of politics, in terms of economics, and especially in terms of entertainment and entertainment consumption. To talk about black British food, and then mention Caribbean food, and then Nigerian food, as if New York and Miami don't have the most Caribbean people, probably more Caribbean people than outside of the Caribbean. Are you slow?
La leche no sale fácilmente al ordeñar. Si se hace esto, la leche saldrá. Estará disponible en las ubres de la vaca. Se hace para mantener la vaca productiva durante unos pocos meses más.
Wish the British people that be so like hateful towards the shit that Americans be doing would just shut the up, because I promise to God, we do not be worried about y'all. We don't be stunned, y'all. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't know what stun mean, because y'all don't even know American slang. Don't be stunned, y'all. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't know what the fuck stun mean, because y'all don't even.
Because it can never be black British people that you're talking about. It can never be black British people that you're talking about. Maybe white British people, but not black British people. Because I'm telling you something for free. Our food is top quality because we have culture over here. No one wants to appropriate black American shit, you understand? And an American person can't tell me a motherfucking thing about being black British, because we do your accents better than you ever motherfucking can. That's why they want our black British men in Hollywood. The reason why you don't like us is because you can chat shit to us, but you can't take it. You have all of these, black British people this and British people that. But when we chuck it back to you, your feelings are hurt. Americans are like the big fucking bullies. But do you know, in these continental streets, we call you guys fucking idiots. The international continental streets call you guys fucking bozos. You had Donald Trump as your motherfucking president. You could never have chat for us. Ever. Win and yam beans and toast, you understand? Win yam good food like curry goat and rice and them things there, and a goosey soup, you understand? Get that right. Because if you motherfuckers were well-travelled and well-cultured, you would know that there's different cultures on different levels and not just black American culture. You guys think you're the cream of the crop of black people, and you are not. Sorry to burst your bubble, but you are not. And to be honest, I actually have to give it to my black British people, because there's only about, what, a couple million of us, maybe max 4 million out of 66 million people in the UK. And over in America, there's like 300 and something million and 44 million black people. And we still make our motherfucking mark. You still know who the fuck black British people are. We little but with talawa. You understand? But let's cut these conversations, because they're actually not progressive for black people. You know what I mean? And to be honest, it's not going to be long until we don't actually give a shit about your fucking opinions, because TikTok will be banning your countries. So focus on that. Focus on your national security. Okay? Priorities. It can never be black British people that you're talking about. Maybe white British people.
I think black British people should start shutting the fuck up when it comes to black American people, because it's no tea, no shade. Literally everybody but y'all can see that y'all are just as westernized as us. Literally everybody but y'all can see that despite the fact that y'all love to dangle culture in black American faces, outside of food and music, y'all really don't honor your ancestral cultures at all. No, but also let's talk about it. The people that reside in the mother countries in which these ancestral cultures come from don't even fuck with y'all because of how westernized y'all are. And I could forgive all of that if only y'all weren't sitting here trying to get into it with black American people, all while representing a country that would literally have wiped that culture that you're talking about off the face of the fucking globe if it was still legal in 2024. Can y'all please shut the fuck up?
Because we have culture over here. No one wants to appropriate black American shit, you understand?
Go ahead and summarize what this video was about. First point was that she said that black Americans were not the top tier of black people and that we're self-righteous to think that. She said that black British people are one of the best in the world, or something along those lines, and that is why black Americans want their men so bad. She also said that most Black people are not well traveled and do not know the cultural foods within the Black diaspora within Western countries. Okay. She says, and you probably saw, and I quote, "Nobody wants to appropriate Black American shit." And then lastly, she says, on the continental streets, they call Black Americans bozos and idiots, and the evidence of that is that we elected Donald Trump as president. I'm not going to go into all these points necessarily, but I will say this. I think if you kept your video on why most Black Americans may or may not be well-traveled, or that we don't know cultural foods in Western countries that are created by, like, Black people within the Black diaspora, that video would have gone so much better. I promise you, because I agree with that. I think that anytime I've traveled, which is very minimal, like, not often abroad, I hated the food in these Western countries, like Belgium or Germany or France, unless it was made by their immigrant population that was Black. For example, like Congolese people in Belgium. That shit was fire. That was great. For you to go into this really big tangent as to why, like, we don't have culture and, like, nobody wants to appropriate Black people shit, and we just think we're so all this and that, and, like, it's a idiots. That's where you lost a lot of people, because that's insane. To say nobody appropriates Black American culture while you're wearing a do-rag is actually horrendous. To say that people call us bozos in the continental streets because we Black people elected Donald Trump as if we were not oppressively, like, voted out, like, we couldn't even vote in Atlanta. You gotta stand, I had to stand in line 2-3 hours to vote. I think it was something like 6% of Black people voted for Donald Trump, something like that. Like, it wasn't a lot of people. So for you to say that is actually, what's the word I could say, illogical and kind of ignorant, straight up. To say that we want Black British men, I'm sorry, I only know 2 Black British, like, actors, Daniel Kaluuya and Idris Elba, if I'm correct. And if there are more, maybe, I don't know. The only thing I can say to that is, if there are more Black British people there in Hollywood, they're speaking an American accent. I don't know what this idea that we just have to have Black British men. I think they're very attractive, and that's where it's coming from, not necessarily accent. The accent may add some points to here and there, but I don't think so. And then lastly, saying that Black Americans are, like, super self-righteous and that we think we're all this in a bag of chips, but we don't have a lot of culture. We've been over this. I'm not gonna get in this diaspora fucking wars that we get on Twitter all the time on, but I will say this. Every point of the world, while you're talking about the continental streets, everywhere in the world, there is Black American culture. You're wearing a do-rag. I've seen Tim's in London. I've seen Jimin and fucking BTS bust a move like Usher in 2009. Every corner of this world has seen Black American shit. And to say that we are idiots for thinking that we're so popular or that we think so highly of ourselves is ridiculous. I think we think so highly of ourselves, and quite frankly, we should. Anyway, that's that.
Our food is nasty as the fuck. Y'all food is nasty as the fuck. Please go on my page and watch my last video. That's the food you're talking about? That's the food you're talking about? The food on my last video, that's the food that shit looks nasty as the fuck. Bitch is nasty. The shit's nasty. Everything y'all do is cause of Black Americans. Please leave us alone. At this point, y'all be harassing us. The British, the Africans. Like, leave us alone. We get harassed enough in the United States of America. Please leave us alone. That shit's nasty. You don't need to convince us. You're the one eating it. If you like it, I hate it. I don't give a fuck. The shit looks nasty. The shit look like a toddler threw up on a plate and y'all mixed it with baby food. The shit looks nasty. You don't need to convince us. If you like it, eat the shit, but you're not going to convince us that it's good and that we should like it. Bitch, the shit look nasty. Make it look more appetizing. Fuck you. In Britain, bitch.
Don't be stunned, y'all. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't know what the fuck stun mean because y'all don't even.
Because it can never be Black British people that you're talking about. It
Damn, why not, Elaine? Why you say that?
can never be Black British people that you're talking about. Maybe white British people.
And why maybe white people? What made you say that?
But not Black British people. Because I'm telling you something for free. Our food is top quality.
Top quality? I'm in the UK. I've been over here for 1 year and 6 months. I ain't never taste no top quality Black people food.
Because we have culture over here.
Culture over here? What culture do Black UK got? Jamaican culture? African culture? That's their culture. That don't belong to the UK. America got soul food culture when it come down to food. So what you talking about, Elaine?
No one wants to appropriate Black American shit, you understand?
How not, Elaine? All of our stores and brands and clothes is over here, so how not?
And an American person can't tell me a motherfucking thing about being Black British.
When did we ever try to tell you that? Yo, people took a microphone and put it up to their lips and started talking about what Black Americans learn in America. Not the other way around. Nobody talked about y'all first. All we doing is responding, and now we wrong. But go ahead, Elaine. I'm listening to you.
Because we do your accents better than you ever motherfucking can.
How, Elaine? That's a fucking lie. That don't make sense. That means that you and your people walk around pretending to be us, and y'all feel like y'all can do our accent better than us.
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this moment. I'm here with the most beautiful woman in Nigeria, and we're about to eat a giant rat. Pretty cool Friday.
Welcome to Nigeria. Before we enter Lagos, Africa's biggest city of over 20 million, we're heading deep into the countryside to explore Nigeria's most unique protein, bushmeat. Wild African animals that are hunted or more commonly trapped for the purpose of consumption.
Have you ever eaten these?
No, I haven't.
Bushmeat is fairly common here, but not all bushmeat is the same.
This particular animal is high in protein.
I think all meat is high in protein.
But this particular one is very high in protein.
Super protein.
In our first 2 Nigeria episodes, Miss Nigeria and I are taking on this distinct delicacy.
We're doing it.
Yes.
From clean and orderly bushmeat farms to markets hawking wild animals.
That I came across Mike. He was a great thing that I came across. He has a lot of information, a whole wealth of information. So for those of you that want your own family genealogy done, I highly recommend using Mike because I'm going to go ahead and go further using his services. Once again, thank you, Mike. It was great meeting up with you. Thank you.
I mean, y'all wish that y'all was us, but that's just coming from an American mindset. I don't know how you think. Go ahead, I'm listening.
That's why they want our black British men in Hollywood.
I don't know about that one, Elaine. We got too many black American actors for Hollywood to be reaching out to the UK trying to get a British actor to come over there. I think it's the other way around, Elaine. You know what? I think these British actors start off small and they become big and then they go over there because they want more money. They want a bigger bag. They want more opportunities. But I don't know. Go ahead, Elaine. I'm listening.
The reason why you don't like us is because you can chat shit to us, but you can't take it.
It's the other way around, Elaine. Yo, people hopped on her first and talked about us. We responded, and now you can't take it. That's crazy, Elaine, but I'm listening to you. What you talking about, gang? I'm listening to you.
You have all of these, British people this and British people that. But
that girl that you responded to, Elaine, she never said British people this, that, nothing. All she did was say y'all worried about the wrong shit and that Americans don't think about y'all. And it's true, Elaine. Nobody ever hopped on her a day in life since TikTok been invented and out of nowhere talk shit about the UK as an American. Nobody never done it. But go ahead, Elaine.
When we chuck it back to you, your feelings are hurt.
Yo, people started this, Elaine. So you not chucking nothing back. All you doing is just responding to her response to somebody that's from over here that has something to say about America. It's no such thing as chucking it back because we didn't start it.
Americans are like the big fucking bullies.
Oh, America is like the nerds that don't give a fuck about nobody in school that don't even know that they exist until a motherfucker come up to them and say something to them or try to bully them and say something about them. That's what America really is like because America don't think about nobody, Elaine.
But do you know, in these continental streets, we call you guys fucking idiots.
Yeah, Elaine, y'all sit in another country and call us idiots and then get ready to go outside and y'all dress just like us. Put on the same shit that we made popular. Put on shit that the world wouldn't even be putting on if it wasn't for our hip-hop artists. But go ahead, Elaine, we listening to you.
The international continental streets call you guys fucking bozos. You had Donald Trump as your motherfucking president. You could never have chat for us.
I mean, did y'all not just have a lady that don't like black people as y'all queen? And a man named King Charles, who I'm sure probably don't like black people either, as y'all king? See, the average American don't even know who y'all king or queen just was, or even who they is now. But here you go, as a black British person, sitting up here educated about America and who our president was. That's crazy. But I'm listening to you, Elaine.
Ever. Win and yam beans and toast, you understand?
Nah, I don't understand, Elaine. Where I come from, we only speak English. If not English, then Spanish. And you not talking either one right now. So can you talk English?
Win yam good food like curry goat and rice and them things there and a goosey soup, you understand?
No, you silly rabbit. Chicks is for kids. We don't understand that. We don't eat soup for dinner and lunch. What's wrong with you? You do know that curry goat is not hard to get in America, right? All you gotta do is make about 20 footsteps to the corner store. But go ahead, Elaine. We listening to you.
Get that right. Because if you motherfuckers were well-travelled and well-cultured, you would know that there's different cultures on different levels and not just Black American culture.
And see, that's what you not understanding, Elaine. We too busy in our own lane. We don't give a fuck about nobody else's lane or culture. Miss Elaine, we don't care. We don't want to travel over there. We got soul food. We got our own shit where we at. We don't care about nobody else's culture, Elaine. That's not fair. That ain't fair, but I'm listening to you.
You guys think you're the cream of the crop of Black people, and you are not.
But we are though, Elaine. Do you not understand that the way you and your people dress was popularized by my people? Do you not understand that the Black American fashion designer who invented streetwear is from America, Elaine? Do you not understand that everything you and your people wear, once again, was popularized by my people, Elaine? Stop. You embarrassing this place. We are the golden ones. But go ahead, Elaine.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but you are not.
Hey, look, Elaine, when you living in reality, ain't no bubble to be bursted. But we hear you, Elaine. Go ahead.
And to be honest, I actually have to give it to my Black British people because there's only about, a couple million of us, maybe max 4 million out of 66 million people in the UK. And over in America, there's like 300 and something million.
Wow, you know that's insane, Elaine. You know how many Black people exist in America? No Black American know how many Black British people exist in the UK. High five, Elaine. Good job. Keep it up, gal. We're listening.
44 million Black people, and we still make our motherfucking mark. You still know who the fuck Black British people are.
Yeah, I think you're delusional, Elaine, because really we don't. I didn't know who Digger D or Idris Elba was till I came over here. So I don't know who you speaking for, but I don't know motherfucking thing. So who is you talking about?
We lickle butt with talawa.
You lick butt with towel and water? Girl, what the fuck is you talking about? Speak English. What's wrong with you, gang?
You understand?
No, I don't understand. I'm from America. We speak English. We don't lick butt with towel and water. I don't know what you on, but can we finish the conversation? You talking a little too much.
Let's cut these conversations because they're actually not progressive for Black people.
Yeah, you're right. It's not progressive for Black people in the UK. No, it ain't. You can't throw a rock and then get mad when a rock get thrown back at you. You see what I'm saying? You getting mad because a rock got thrown back at y'all, but come on, yeah, let's wrap it up.
You know what I mean? And to be honest, it's not going to be long until we don't actually give a shit about your fucking opinions because TikTok will be banning your countries.
TikTok being banned a lot, you never had to worry about our opinions, Elaine. Your people spoke about us first. But go ahead, Elaine, I'm still listening.
So focus on that.
Focus on that for what, Elaine? It's more shit going on in the US than TikTok being banned. We don't give a fuck. We set all the trends on TikTok anyway. As I scroll down your wall, you're using nothing but American sounds anyway. So once it is banned in our country, what you gonna do, Elaine? I'm still listening. Go ahead.
Focus on your national security. Okay? Priorities.
Oh, we well focused on our priorities. Until people from other countries and continents come talking about us. Now tell me what you focused on, Elaine. Matter of fact, you know what? I don't even want to hear it. Bye-bye, Felicia. See you later, TT. Bye.
British girls and the Black American girls are fighting. And perspective from, obviously, me being a Black American woman. Also, I grew up on the outsides of Chicago. I've lived in Miami. I live in New York City, and I'm well-traveled. So those are my credentials to say that. I've lived in different places for extended amounts of time, and I've met a lot of different people more often than not. Black Americans, we are not groomed to feel a way about other Black people, meaning if you're Black and you come from Africa, or you're Black, you come from, wherever, we are not groomed to feel a way toward anybody else. If anything, we are groomed that a black person, we blackity black, like we down, like you down, we down, okay? However, people from other countries seem to already have a preconceived prejudice against Black Americans. Oh, we lazy, we da-da-da-da, we ghetto, da-da-da, all these things. A lot of things that one might think, hey, this sounds a lot like what Western media would portray a Black person to be. So there you have that. I feel like this is where the tension starts to come, because certain comments and things that then, like toward Black Americans, that then trigger a response. And then this is how we get into these back and forth. As a Black American, you're not really groomed to feel a way about other Black people, except more so acceptance. And therefore, y'all not really on our minds like that. Like in a situation that's happening in the fights, like, again, no shade, no tea, but Black British girls are not like, that's not what we worried about. Anything like, what I'm gonna think about a Black British girl, like, first of all, makeup be eaten down, okay? So you're dressing cute. And obviously y'all have like a really nice accent. But other than that, there's appreciation, there's love. There usually isn't like I can't, what? I don't think that Black Americans feel that we're the cream of the crop of Black people. I mean, let's call a spade and let's be 100 about it. Like, the culture that Black Americans have built in this country is often replicated, duplicated, gentrified, repackaged, repurposed, all the things. Possibly part of that is Western media, but a lot of the things that we have created over the times within this country then get spread worldwide. The looks or the music that has such an impact on everybody. We believe that we're the cream of the crop, but I do think that we know that we have, contributed to some things in this world. Seems that every time, every which way we turn, like getting bust upside the head by somebody, we get it enough from the white people in every other race, but then it's like now more Black people feel away. And honestly, it's not just Black British girls that are saying things or whatever. This is like Black people from the Caribbean, West India, and Black people from Africa. Like, everybody got something to say about a Black American. As a Black American, like, we just trying to vibe. Can we just...
I think it was very informative, very educational, very knowledgeable, because you touched on some things that I was aware of, but I wasn't aware in detail. So it kind of gives like an insight to some of the things that are going on today from history. So I think it's very important to learn your genealogy. And I thank you for the information. You're showing us how to navigate through the system. It's worth 75 or maybe a little bit more to me.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British men. Quite frankly, you was kings Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.